All right, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Blog. I'm excited. It is Saturday evening here, football night. And look, it is the weekend of our next game against Wolf. Our game is tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow, Sunday, it is our game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But the truth of the matter is, we are building up, and a lot is coming up. A lot of talks around Chelsea Football Club from our accounts department, FFP rules, why we cannot sign more players, and with our salary structure, Victor Osimhen, our owners, our striker options, and what our coach has been saying. Look, Pochettino is giving us so much stress. Poch is giving us so much stress. But then, I want us to just go straight into the issues one by one. First on my agenda tonight, why I want to discuss with you. Listen, dear friend. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. Everything is on course, but there is just one more problem. Victor Osimhen's wage demands are a lot higher than the kind of level the new owners are prepared to pay. That is the latest coming from Victor Osimhen's camp, from the negotiations. That is why we have not had any, pre-contract agreement. We were expecting to hear pre-contract agreement between Osimhen camp and Napoli with Chelsea. But that didn't happen before the window shut. Why? Because his wage demands are a lot higher than the kind of level the new owners are prepared to pay. So they would have to make Osimhen an exception. That means that as it stands, Chelsea board will have to meet and make Osimhen an exception of the rules that is set up by themselves. Are they prepared to do that? The same could be said for Brentford Ivan Toney, who Chelsea have doubt over. By giving he turned 28 in March. Ivan Toney will be 28 in March. And yet his salary also, the board will have to sit on it to change their own rules that they made. Chelsea fans, this is where we are. Victor Osimhen or no Victor Osimhen for the summer? After all said and done, Victor said yes to Chelsea. Now our owners want to start giving us headache. Our owners now want to start giving us headache. Look, Raheem Sterling is the highest paid player so far now in Chelsea, taking £325,000 per week. Why can't we just make it the same for him? Even £300,000. And personally, even Raheem Sterling is not doing that much. The work that Victor Osimhen is coming to do for Chelsea, he even deserves more than that. But the question is our owners ready to make that exception? Is our owners, are they prepared to do that? Are they prepared to do that? Ebale and Co, are they prepared to do that so that we can get Victor Osimhen? Listen, Victor Osimhen is the ideal person for Chelsea right now. Any other striker, then it has to be Ivan Toney. But Ivan Toney now here is 28. Personally, 28 is also still not bad. He is an experienced player in the Premier League. Yes. 28, if we are to give Ivan Toney 5 years contract, that will make it 33. By the time he will. But then, I would still prefer Victor Osimhen, who is quite younger than Ivan Toney. If the salary range will be almost the same, then why wouldn't we just go in for Victor Osimhen? Dear friend, let me hear from the comment section. It is a match day, I understand, but thank God Chelsea is not playing any game tonight, and that is why I brought up this issue, so that you and I, we can digest it. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea, what is holding the pre-contract agreement right now, why there was no announcement made so far, is this issue. Dear friend, would our owners make the exception? I hope so. I want to believe so, because it is something that is very important. Now, one thing that also came up, but let me put a thin line between the two. Salary of a player does not necessarily count in what I'm about to say now. Chelsea are in danger of breaching the FFP rules unless they raise at least £100 million pounds by the end of June. This FFP rules covers 3 years, meaning that a club must not make losses more than 105 million pounds in 3 seasons. In 3 seasons, you shouldn't make a loss of more than 105 million pounds. It should be less of 105 million is acceptable, but anything more than 105 million, the FF rules will apply to you. And that is exactly what Everton is facing right now. Now, currently, from our sources, Chelsea now made losses of about 95 million. 95 million, meaning Chelsea must be able to sell a player of at least 100 million between now and June in order to avoid the punishment. We must make sales. That their recent transfer activity could see them penalized over further if they have broken PSR. That's Premier League rules. With the club not allowed to make a loss of more than 105 million pounds over a 3-year period. So, if we can sell, and this is why the sale of Trevor Chalobah, Amanda Brower, Conor Gallagher, this is where they come in because they are homegrown players. This is why Chelsea was determined to sell Conor Gallagher. For those of you that don't know, this is why Chelsea was so determined to sell Conor Gallagher, because Conor Gallagher is a pure profit. Pure profit. In a sense that these three that I mentioned their names, as a matter of fact, even Reece James, if he was to be fit, there's a greater possibility that he could be sold or would have been sold. Why? It is pure profit. These are homegrown players. Chelsea did not buy them. So selling them there will not be anything like to count losses. Rather, if we are selling Conor Gallagher now, let's say to Tottenham for 80 million pounds or 50 million pounds, that is pure profit, which will go into balancing of the books. But there's a challenge, there's a problem somewhere now. Even if we want to sell Conor Gallagher by May, so that we can meet up on June, Conor Gallagher holds the card. He holds the ace. He can decide to go or not to go because he's in his last 18 months. He can decide to run down his contract. He can say, no, I'm not going anywhere. I want to stay in this club until my contract is over. Yeah. Because it's a contract, it's an agreement. If you want to sell me, I must agree to you selling me. After all, even the coach likes me and the coach is making use of me. So Conor Gallagher have every right. The card is, the ball is in his court. He will make the decision now whether to go or not to go. And the players we speak, he is determined to nail down his position. But Chelsea are looking at profit. They are looking at closing the gap on the FFP rules. This is the reason why they try to sell him. If you ask me, what is the solution? The solution is simple. You have to find a way of negotiating players like Lukaku so that they will not come back. You make money from there. You have to find a way of negotiating Matson so that all those cash can come in. You have to find a way of letting go Trevor Chalobah. You have to find a way of letting go all those fringe players. Even though they are not pure profit, they will close up the gap. You'll be able to balance the books before the June. But hey, the challenge here, which many people also will not understand, is that the other clubs, for instance, Roma, or even in the case of Conor Gallagher, even if he agreed to go and Tottenham want to buy him, they know the problem Chelsea is facing right now. And so they will also try to squeeze the blood out of Chelsea. If the price is supposed to be 50 million, they can offer 30 because they know Chelsea need the money in order to balance the books. They know that Chelsea needs the money to balance the books. And so they will be doing everything possible to try to beat down the price. That is just a problem. That is a problem. So Chelsea might not get the exact figure from the sale of these players if you're not very careful. Yeah. Chelsea might not get the amount that is needed from the sale of this player because those clubs now know exactly the challenge Chelsea faced. And Chelsea must raise at least 100 million by June. And like I said, this does not affect the salary of Victor Osimhen. This does not affect the salary of Victor Osimhen because this is the 3 years issue. Okay? And moreover, salaries are like expenditure. You know, it's more like expenditure. You can't avoid that. You can't avoid it. And if our owners are quite serious, in order to raise Victor Osimhen's salary, for me personally, it is time we even put Modric back in the market for sale. Let me hear from you in the comment section, Chelsea fan. It is a player like Modric. I don't see him developing into the game that Chelsea want to play at this point in time. We can let go Modric and buy a player like Nico Williams or Michael Olise. Modric is still not growing up into the game. I don't know how much more time Modric need. If you look at the game in Liverpool, Anfield, you could see clearly that ball that was delivered to him could have scored. I don't know how long. Modric is no longer 18 years, 19 years. I understand. Many people will say that is how we treated Mohamed Salah. We let him go too quick. Or we treated, Kevin De Bruyne. But hey, you have to understand the scenarios. The timing and everything matters a lot. During the time of Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, look at the caliber of players that we have then in Chelsea. Just imagine, who was Mo Salah going to bench then? And the player was not willing to stay on the bench and be playing fringes. He wants to be playing regularly. That is why we have to send him on loan. Likewise, Kevin De Bruyne. Dear friend, this is our club. Let's discuss it well. Let me hear from you in the comment section. Chelsea, right now as we speak, Victor Osimhen to Chelsea, the players agreed to come to Chelsea. Yes, we know. But the salary, is our owners willing and ready to make an exception of Victor Osimhen's salary? Now, lastly, before I let you go, yeah, this is just on the other issue. This is just by the way. If you want to know our training, or not even training, before games, the video that is rolling on your screen right now, before games, what happens when the players arrive? Let's say this particular video is when we went to Anfield. Yes, before games. The process is what the players went through. That is a video that's on your screen. I would like you to enjoy this to the end. I will see you in the next one very soon. Just enjoy this video next. Yes, pre-game video. Behind the scene. Let me use the word behind the scene. Enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one when you see me, dear friend. Shalom and peace.